Okay, what's up, everybody? Episode 5 of the live account series. Big news. We hit 100%, so this is the sort of finale of season 1. I wanted to take a little bit of time to talk about some of the lessons I've learned, but first I'm going to go ahead and show all the information so that everybody can see that it's legit. So your withdrawal request has been approved and your account balance adjusting accordingly. They hit me with that yesterday morning. Had some stuff to do yesterday aside from trading, so I did not get around to doing this. But yeah, let's go and look at the transaction details because um, that is what's important. So as you can see, we only ever had the 500 deposit um, both times to add up to 1,000. There's me taking the 1,000 back out via ACH, so wire. Go over to accounts. You can see that the net liquidity, the balance is about $1,000. I'm just calling that 1,000 because it's 1,000. It's within less than $3. Also, for Christmas, like, come on, look at this. Look at this clean price action for Christmas, man. These are all non-structural lows. Well, I don't know about this one actually. Let me take a look real quick. I'm curious. I'm not in a trade. I'm not, or this is Christmas Eve. I'm not in a trade. I'm not looking to trade anything today, obviously, but no, we're not calling this an actual swing on the 1 minute. So, yeah, I mean, this is like so clean. It stayed bullish the whole time. On the 1 minute, came in, did its thing. Looks like it, yeah, man. Oh, wow, it even gave a flip down lower? No, it didn't. It was more like a double low. Anyways, back to it. Scene two. So yeah, the this is. I mean, you guys can do your due diligence. I really don't know how like these things work, where you can, show that someone is being legit or not. If anyone out there has the ability to show the legitness of this, then don't hesitate um, to like message me and let me know, how I can, or if you're skeptical. Like, I'm not going to think that you're being a jerk if you're like, hey, Magma, do you mind showing us, this bit of information? I've never done this before, so I don't know what to show. I am going to show this email. So it's a real email. Hi, Case. You recently triggered the following notification message. Your withdrawal request has been approved and your account balance adjusted accordingly. And then I have I don't want to open my freaking bank account on here and like show my numbers and my literally all my personal finances and stuff. Let me pause this and like open up the bank account and show the transaction. Maybe that'll do it. Uh, is this going? Oh yeah, it is. Okay. I figured out how to do it. So I'm on Novo, so you guys can see Safe Place Mentorship LLC. That's the that's my business that I take my trading payouts from prop firms and from this. Well, I don't take my payouts directly to this account. Actually, I take them to Wise first. But yeah, this is my account. Ninja right here. We've got the transaction ID right here. So 173. It's ending in 3639. I'm gonna go back over here and see if there's like a transaction ID. Maybe it'll add up. Uh, Probably not. No. Yeah, I don't see one. Yeah, I mean, anyways, if you guys wanna scrutinize it in any way, feel free to, and I'll definitely share any other info. Obviously, it's all it's all right here. To me, it's not really that difficult of a thing to believe, just because it's such a small amount. I mean, percentage wise, 100%. That's great. We're just talking about pulling 1,000 out of the market over a pretty slow period of time. But yeah, let's talk a little bit about what this means to me, my experience. So honestly, I would say that um, I was at a point in trading where um, making money was not the question, but longevity was the question. So, I think that newer profitable traders will understand this. Um, if you've, been profitable like off and on, or, just like your first time becoming profitable with a couple months of payouts and stuff like that. If if you're kind of up and down in the market, it you can feel that whiplash experience, and a lot of it comes from like you've honed in your skills. At least from me, from my experience, I've honed in my skills to be like where they need to be. At a professional level, to be able to pull money out and be on the right side of the market most of the times that I go to take a trade. Not necessarily most times that I analyze the market, but most times that I go to take a trade, I'm able to identify that the market's moving in my favor. My conditions are good for my trading model. Yada yada yada. Right. Um, so essentially, uh, this has helped kind of smooth out the rough edges of that experience, because I've learned that, the prop firms, I've learned a lot about what the prop firms have done to me psychologically, about putting me in a kind of a loser's mindset. Like, okay, now like from the very get go, I remember I took that first payout in like November. I started trading in October last year, and then took a payout in November, like super early on, because I don't know, probably just beginner's luck kind of thing. I was intuition trading, just no education, no prior experience, just kind of scalping whatever I saw appear, like during the Asia sessions, especially. I remember when I lived in Austin still, and I was downtown, and up at fucking 1 a.m. and trading the 1 or 2 a.m. just sitting on the couch, and Hannah went to bed, and just be you know looking at the market and being like, okay, I feel like I recognize this pattern. It's probably going to go long, and buying and being right sometimes and wrong sometimes. And then joining a mentorship group, watched the guy take a couple trades, took a couple profitable trades with him, a couple losers with him, took a payout, and that payout felt really good. So I think it set me up psychologically, like for some success, but also on the back end of that was that I stacked up accounts after that and didn't know what I was doing. Was trying to trade copy on Tradovate, ended up accidentally putting like tons of leverage on, like 15 contracts per account or something like that. And price moved a little bit. I hit my daily drawdown limit, put me in the position where I was losing. And then from there, tried to make that part back, lost the accounts. And then ever since then, it's like this rat race. I mean, ever since then until probably probably a few months after that, I would say. Because when I started the original mentorship in Safe Place in January, I was trading a lot of paper. And that was just like rewiring my psychology, and also forward testing with stuff that was still fairly new. I mean, obviously, that was always disclosed publicly, like, hey, this stuff is new. And I'm just teaching theory rather than, giving financial advice or anything like that. Obviously, now I'm teaching from a perspective of experience and profitability. And that's one of the things that people who come join the group, rely on as part of my track record. But back then it was just like hey, come and learn and earn together and grow together. That's why the fee was so small. It was just for my time and my limited experience and understanding at that point. It did help a lot of people make some money, and eventually, obviously, learn to make money myself and began taking more payouts again, and got into the green overall. But even being in the green overall with prop firms, at a really good ratio, even still being at a good ratio and being green with prop firms, when you tell yourself the lie of, when I tell myself the lie of, this is just a prop firm account, I can just BS on it or whatever, and then you end up losing it. I end up losing the account. I have end up losing the accounts, and then ended up losing the accounts, and then even just that small amount of money, if you're not looking at it from a big picture perspective, which, this is one of the things that taught me to do that. If you're not looking at it from a big picture perspective, then you just feel like you're down. And when you feel like you're down, you want to go ahead and make that money back. So that was my experience, was even in profitability, even in being able to take payouts and make money from the market overall. If you look at the year in cost versus spent, there's a great ratio there. Our cost spent versus profit gain, there's a great ratio there, but it's not consistent, and it's ridiculous to think that I'm talking about ratio, because I have the ability to put in a couple $100 into a prop firm account. And if I was to trade it like I traded this psychologically, we're talking about $1,000 account versus a $50,000 account. Realistically, that's more like a $2,000 account because of the actual drawdown you have available. Not when you count in the idea of like margin and getting margin called and stuff like that. So I would say it's probably more along the lines of trading like a $3,000 account. That way, I mean, if you're trading like a maximum on the scaling plan of 5, contracts, and you're doing micros, then in that instance you're dealing with, yeah, about a $3,000 account, because 2,000 drawdown, you get margin called at no, actually maybe a $2,500 account, because you have that 2,000 to lose. Once you hit 500, you would get liquidated because you need $100 per MNQ in the account. So yeah, it's like the 50Ks are like trading a $2,500 account. If I was trading a $2,500 account, I mean, honestly, imagine if you put $2,500 into a trading account over and over and over again, and you lost 2,000 of it. Like, and some of you, and there's a guy in the mentorship who's like, I've literally had 100 accounts, like 100 accounts, and blown, or like blown 100, funded or whatever. I don't remember what he said, but it's just like, imagine putting that much money into a real account and losing that over and over again. That's insane. I didn't understand that perspective until I did this, but that's literally freaking insane. Like, if I get down on the day on the live account, the psychology is so different, because it's like, I'm just going to make the situation worse. I know for certain I'm just going to make the situation worse if I try to force my way out of it. And in a prop firm account, you think the opposite. You're like, I'm going to make the situation worse if I don't, close the day out green or break even. And I, on the live, it's taught me like a lot about only taking trades whenever you see a setup. I was much more of a just trade whatever I see kind of a guy before, and it was still profitable, like I said. But the consistency that I feel and the peace of mind I feel on the live account, because I'm just seeing a setup that I believe in and only taking trades when the risk is tolerable for me. It's like not really about like how good it feels, but it's just like those habits are literally necessary they're literally necessary habits to being like consistent over the course of years, I think, because sometimes it did feel like what I was doing was not, um, not set up for long term success. Like I would go on runs where, with a prop firm account, like you guys saw a few months ago, taking the 50K prop firm account, turning it into 10K in payouts. That was still with hitting daily drawdown limit. I think like over 10 times, 10 to 12 times hitting daily drawdown limit, so losing $1,000. So it really could have been more in payouts, significantly more in payouts, 50% more in payouts. But, I was just sort of degenning. So yeah, I mean, sometimes I would get in the mood to be more consistent and take smaller payouts across multiple accounts. Sometimes I'd be in the mood to be more aggressive, and now I understand that it shouldn't really be about mood. It should be just about like only relying on your specific expertise. If your specific expertise does not shine in this environment, then you have to have the humility. That's what it is. The humility to say, this has nothing to do with me. Whatever's going on in the market right now has nothing to do with me. And yeah, that's a tough pill to swallow as a trader who is trying really hard. I know that you guys are trying really hard to change things financially for your family, or like start the first day of the rest of your life with financial freedom, um, and quit your job eventually and stuff like that. But this kind of consistency. It just doesn't ever. It's never going to happen if you're trading based on like purely how you feel. If you're trading based purely on mechanicals and technicals, you're not gonna succeed long term. If you're trading based purely on feeling and necessity, and urgency, or emotions, then you're not going to succeed long term. There has to be a balance of experience and intuition mixed with structure and other mechanical formats. So you first have to establish something that tilts the odds in your favor. And when I say tilts the odds in your favor, I don't mean is already profitable mechanically, because I don't think that there's a thing that any of you are going to find out there that does that. But to find something like market structure that at least paints a picture, and then you get to be the person to piece all of it together to find high quality trades, but you only are taking trades when it's within, the confines of what you understand from a technical analysis standpoint. So you get to use that experience whenever, whenever you, sorry, Ruski's texted me about when the market closes today. We already talked about not, thought he said he wasn't going to trade today. Yeah, basically only taking trades and only even considering or looking for trades whenever the market has done something that you can actually make sense of. That's so huge, and I know it sounds like really elementary, and obviously it's an elementary concept, and all of you have heard it, so you're probably going to watch this and be like, wait, I'm supposed to be learning from this guy, and he just realized that? No, I didn't just, like, that's not my first time hearing that. I don't live under a fucking rock, but I'm certain that you watching this have probably never actually extensively followed that rule for a long period of time. And that's all I'm saying, is that this is my first time extensively, or for an extensive period of time, following that rule, like through and through. And it's shown me that overall, yes, I miss out on some opportunities, where I think it's going to go up, and I'm like, yeah, my analysis is that it's going to go higher. I think it could, really, really run off here, but there's no setup for me to get in. In the instance that it does go without me, and my, platform, my basis for taking trades doesn't really give me an opportunity. And so I say, hey, this has nothing to do with me. I'm going to step away. Yes, I will miss out on these big spikes in P&L and things like that. But the things that I also miss out on are those big spikes down in P&L. And I would much rather have it just be this smooth line than it be, way up and way down. That volatility, I already have to deal with that shit in the market every day. I have to deal with that in mortgage rates, interest rates being a mortgage broker. I have to deal with that stuff in my personal financial life because I'm not employed. I'm self-employed and have been my entire adult life. So it's like you can't do this long term if you can't stick to something like that long term. And I think that for me, the only way to really teach myself that lesson, because I tried so many times, to tell myself, like, just don't degen on this account a single time. Like, only take the highest quality setups. And I have, like, or I'd even have come to Jesus moments on accounts that were already funded and had already taken a payout. I'd be like, all right, it's time to just slow roll this. And it'd be like a week or less, like, 4 days of good habits and then one day of just terrible habits of every single horrible thing that I've, put in the psychology video coming back. And with the live account, with this being real money, when I press buy and sell, like, that's money leaving my life. Every dollar that is counted on here is money leaving my life or coming into my life. It changes things. It's taught me mainly two things, and these are my last points. This is a really long video for this, but it is the finale. So I'll say that the 2 points are: one, consider yourself fortunate whenever you are on the right side of the market. Don't be entitled and greedy for more than what you're getting, because the market owes you nothing. You owe the market money. That is the cold hard truth, is that if statistically speaking 99% of people do nothing but overall lose money in the market, right, then statistically speaking, you owe the market money. So whenever you're getting handed money by the market, you need to take it. And if you would like to secure extra money from the market, then you need to do that in a zero risk setting. And that's the lesson I learned. Not financial advice. That I'm telling that to myself. If I got into a trade down here, let's say it went into, what is this, the 802, right? Let's say it came down here, it did this double bottom, or like it flipped up here, came back in and did a double bottom. And I liked it, and I liked that we remained, or let's say, we came up above this line right here. For the premium members, you know what I'm talking about. Let's say that we came up above this line right here, and I got in over here. And from, what is this, from like 34, 35, right? And then it's carrying up all the way. I used to think, differently about it. I used to think like, well, I really think this is going to get to 935. That's my ultimate target. So, for the draw liquidity, because that's the 15-minute Mark II or whatever it is, 30-minute Mark II, hourly Mark II. So I'm going to, hold all of it to there. Maybe I'll take one partial. But now it's like, if I'm taking like 3 contracts on here, if I get that thing up, $50 or something like that, $100, whatever it is, I'm gonna take some money, and then it goes a little bit further, and I'm gonna take some money, and I'm gonna move my stop loss to break even, and then not only that, but I'm gonna move my stop loss into profit, and like, I'm considering myself lucky and being grateful that the market has, given me this opportunity to be on the right side, and rather than everything being about just trying to capitalize on this move as much as I possibly can. Like, man, think about that. If I had just leveraged a little bit more, like I knew this trade was going to do well. Yeah, I knew this trade was going to do well. How many times did I think I knew the trade was going to do well and then it lost, right? And that's why we don't over leverage. That's why we consider ourselves lucky and we take profits out of the market when the profits present themselves. And that's what I've been doing. And honestly, it feels so much easier. Like profitability now with this new psychology, it feels easy. I feel like I've unlocked some sort of superpower. And I'm not exaggerating that. I'm not trying to sell the mentorship on that. Like, that's really mostly for the premium members to hear, anyways. It's an encouragement directly to them. Like, because I've been, giving them a lot of a positive reinforcement and seeing a lot of progress. So like I'm telling you, if you have these concepts in your wheelhouse already, and you can get this psychological perspective that I have been fortunate enough to stumble upon via randomly deciding to do this experiment, then you're going to see the same thing I'm talking about. Profitability is just going to feel easy and natural. And it's so freaking nice to feel that peace of mind for consistency in the future, because there is always that thing in the back of your head. Even though I've made tens of thousands of dollars from multiple prop firms in my first year of trading, I still am like, what if I don't, what if I don't make another one, right? I mean, I know I'm going to make another one, but what if I don't? What if I, blow a bunch of them? Or what if the prop firm denies my payout because they say, oh, I didn't follow their rules, like with MFFU, freaking, or Apex denying me parts of my payouts, even though I was trade copying the accounts, right? So, like living on the tit of the prop firm, playing by their rules, and being in fear of not getting another payout because I'm so used to blowing accounts. It's like, I don't even know if I want to. I mean, I have, obviously, you guys can see Top Step X open. I have Top Step accounts. I've had Top Step accounts for a while. Um, but I don't know. I don't want to. Um, I don't want to go back to that feeling. And I hope that you guys can pull yourselves out of that feeling. Again, please go watch the psychology video. It's literally twice as long as this video, but it's worth the time if you have a couple days off because of holidays and you're not spending time with family at this very moment. And you have an hour to kill. I highly suggest watching that. You don't have to like take notes unless some stuff really sticks out to you. Just I would ask that you be very, very honest with yourself in the way that you're looking at that. Look at it objectively. Look at yourself objectively. Don't look at yourself with a kind bias. Don't look at yourself as a pessimist and hate yourself or anything. But just look at it objectively and be like, okay, what is he saying that actually applies to me? Uh, and be truthful about that to yourself. And I promise you'll learn something. But yeah, we'll see you guys in the next one in season 2 when I start trading this thing after the holidays. And we'll see what we can do with these free profits now, or this free money in the account now. I'm planning to trade it as I was to begin with, but then obviously once I get another 1,000, not planning to do another payout, just going to keep it running and see how far we can take it. Maybe I'll take another payout when it makes sense for me to take like 2,000 out or 2,500 or 5,000. I'm not sure, but I'm excited for the next chapter of this. So stay tuned, and if you want to learn my strategies or perfect market structure or invisible market structure, you can use the link below to join the premium group. Otherwise, have a great day. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year's.